So, welcome everyone to our Thursday educational series. My name is Laura Waghorn, and today we're excited to welcome three guests to tell their real journey, real results experiences. We're welcoming Jessica White, Todd Cahill, and Vanessa Joy. So, Jessica, I'm going to come to you first. So, Jessica White is a nurse, a life purpose coach, and a bodybuilding competitor who lost 147 pounds and transformed her health. Now she empowers women to build strength and vitality through GLP-1 microdosing with NAD plus and GLP-1 support, the protein powder. Jessica has dropped another 12 pounds and feels more energized than ever. So, Jessica, you've had such an incredible journey, losing 147 pounds and competing as a bodybuilder. Can you share what first pushed you to take control of your health?
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. Initially when I started my journey 8 years ago, and I was not familiar with peptides at the time, unfortunately. But initially, the reason why I had started my journey was because I had gone to the doctor. I had gone to my gynecologist. I was very, very overweight. I was a newlywed. And my husband and I had been talking about, having our own family. So I wanted to go and get a checkup, make sure that everything was, all the numbers were right and everything was the way it should be. Well, that was my turning point for me at that point in my life. I was 26 years old. I was on the verge of liver cirrhosis. I had prediabetes. I had high blood pressure. I had a fatty liver. And she told me if I didn't get that under control, that I was going to have issues in the future on my way to liver cirrhosis. And just being at that age in my life, I realized that I had so much more ahead of me that my health was keeping me from that. And so I, talked to her, had a breakdown. It took me about 3 days to come out of that, but at the end of the day, I think I had the right people at the right moment, place in my life at that time. I just started a new job where I befriended a physician assistant, and when I confided in her all these ailments that I was dealing with and everything that I was going through, she said, "Hey, you didn't get here overnight, so you're not going to get out of this overnight." And, so she led me on that path to going to the gym the very first time. Fast forward a year and a half later, I had joined a CrossFit gym. I had lost 147 pounds. I had actually gotten pregnant when they told me that it was going to be very, very difficult for me to carry a child with everything that I had and being the weight I had. They told me it was going to be very slim to no chance of having children. And when I had, my initial miscarriage, it opened my eyes and made me realize that, wow, I can have, I can have a child. So 6 months after I lost all the weight and after I had that miscarriage, I ended up pregnant again with my miracle rainbow baby. And my journey after her began. She was a micro preemie. She was in the hospital for 4 months. I had a lot of specialist appointments. I put myself on hold for a year, and I started my journey again. It was just right before COVID, and I lost another 126 pounds after that because I did gain weight after the pregnancy, and I found the world of bodybuilding. My coach, the coach that I have now, who is still my coach, introduced me to the bodybuilding industry, and I've done 7 shows, one national show last year. And I was experimenting with peptides actually throughout my bodybuilding journey because he had told me about TVVPC, which I was very familiar with, but I didn't have any idea until I joined Ellie and the amazing people in this company that have shown me all the benefits of all these peptides. And just like these educational series and other things that Ellie has provided for the people, the customers, and the partners that join this company. And so I started this journey with Ellie about almost 4 months ago, and I started my GLP GIP, for support as well as my NAD. I was having a lot of brain fog. I'm a full-time nurse, so I was having a lot of brain fog, a little bit of memory recall issues while I was at work. Multitasking was making me lose focus. So I started the NAD initially, and when I saw the effects of the GLP-GIP microdose, which is what I am taking right now, I saw the benefits of so many women in the bodybuilding industry that were taking this. And my amazing sponsor, Ms. Latoya Moody, was actually talking to me about this because she's a professional bodybuilder as well. She's an IFBB pro. So she had actually talked to me about the benefits of microdosing. And I was like, well, she's doing it. I want to do it too. So I didn't know anybody in the bodybuilding industry that was cycling these peptides. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try it. The best thing that I could have done for myself. I'm still currently on both, and I'm down 12 pounds. I had a lot of inflammation in my body. I was actually on a carnivore diet for 8 months. I was incorporating all the things, the healthy eating, everything. I'm 36 years old, so hitting that, almost getting to that premenopause stage in my life, and I wanted to make sure to be proactive about it. So, I mean, the inflammation's down. I have a lot better memory recall. I can remember a lot of things faster, quicker. I have a lot more energy to get me throughout the day. My sleep is so much better. I'm just floored and so amazed at what these peptides are doing to change people's lives, including my own. So I'm just super, super excited to share my story and with everybody that's on. Thank you so much for joining.
So talk to me a little bit about, obviously you're taking the GLP-1 and you're microdosing that and you're taking the NAD plus. But which one out of those peptides kind of surprised you the most? Which one did you think, wow, I wish I'd discovered this one like earlier?
Hands down, it has to be the GLP-GIP. I am just floored at the benefits that I've been feeling with this peptide in particular. As soon as I started taking it, I felt the effects of my NAD almost triple. The NAD was working for me. I had been on it 2 weeks before I started the GLP-GIP, but the minute I started, I didn't realize how many hunger cravings I was battling at the time. That food noise was there. Yes, I know that, bodybuilding and having that discipline is very important, but it's a little bit hard when you still have that food noise in the back of your head and you're craving those midnight snacks, or you're craving getting up at night. You had dinner and you're like, you have that guilty conscience of like, I'm still hungry. I want to go to the pantry. I'd fight those urges a lot. But I've noticed since I've been on the GLP GIP microdose, I haven't had to fight the urges. I haven't had to deal with the guilt of wanting to eat something because I don't have that want to eat anything that's not good for me. I eat intake my protein, and that was one thing I forgot to mention. I am taking the GLP support protein, which is amazing. I'm very particular about my protein and the taste, the aftertaste. I'm just very, very particular about it. And I was very, very surprised that I'm actually drinking that every single day ritually for my second meal of the day. I eat 5 times a day. I have my higher protein intake that I try to maintain. So that's actually really, really helped me a lot. I absolutely love the coffee. The coffee one is the one that I like. I'm not a big chocolate fan. I don't like chocolate in general. So I was like, I'm gonna try the coffee. I love that protein. It is so good. I'm fixing to reorder another one because I keep going through it so fast. But I am by far the best peptide that I could have gotten, that I kind of wish I knew about before I started my weight loss journey, is the GLP GIP. I absolutely love that. And I love that it comes with the B12 too. It gives me that extra boost when I do inject. So I love it. I absolutely love it.
So we just had a question come in. Which one was it you feel helped you the most with the brain fog?
To be honest with you, the NAD helped me with the brain fog initially, but I felt it completely, like almost completely be eliminated the minute I started doing both together. The GLP GIP, almost like it made the effects of the NAD that much more higher. I can't explain this. I was actually talking to a few of my own personal customers because they asked me the same question. A lot of them deal with brain fog, energy issues. I go to the gym, and I actually do have. I was just diagnosed in January with atrial fibrillation, so I'm actually on heart medication. So I do have to take that, and it actually causes fatigue. I actually talked to my cardiologist about this, and I told him I can't. I don't understand. There's days where this. I had this conversation with him 3 months ago. I said, I understand there's days where I can't get up. I'm very, very fatigued. I feel like just a heavy weight on me. And he said, unfortunately, that's some of the side effects of your medication. So I said, okay. So he helped lower the dose a little bit. It still didn't help. So when I started the NAD, which he cleared me to start, I was actually really surprised. He's like, no, it's, you can take it as long as you feel okay with it. I started taking it, but I felt it kick in that much more, 2 to 3 times more with the brain fog and the energy when I started taking my microdose together.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. And we wish you every success with everything you're doing and your journey moving forward. We're excited for you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to all my guests.
So next, I'm going to welcome on Todd Cahill. Now, Todd is a best-selling author and a coach who has spent more than 2 decades helping others grow in leadership and personal development. And after years of high performance living, Todd turned his focus inwards to prioritize his own health through peptides, including GLP-1s, GHKCU, glutathione, NAD. He's experienced renewed energy, improved vitality, and a deeper commitment to long term wellness. So, Todd is passionate about showing others how breakthrough tools like peptides can transform both body and mind. So, welcome, Todd.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good.
So, Todd, you've spent years mentoring others in business and personal growth. What
Yeah.
was that turning point when you decided to make your own health the top priority?
Yeah. So I'm 44 now, and I've always been healthy. So I'm not going to have the story of losing 100 pounds or 50 pounds or anything like that. But I think there's a lot of people out there that once they hit 40, male or female, like they have that extra 10 pounds that they can't get rid of. And I was doing like two a days, and it takes a lot of energy to what I do as a serial entrepreneur. So I heard about GLP-1 when I read Tony Robbins' book Life Force, like in 2023. I was at Target and I just picked up anything that he, because I've been to all of his events and stuff. So he was talking about a whole chapter on NAD plus, and I'm friends with Gary Brecka, and I did an event with him this January, and I know he talks about NAD. So I didn't really know what it was until last year when my friend introduced me to EllieMD. So I started getting on the GLP-1, GIP, trizepatide, and I actually went from 240. So I'm 6'6", and I was 240, and then I went to 220. So that was really exciting to kind of maintain 20-pound loss and maintain that, and then add the NAD as a combination, because I got on one of these educational calls late last year, and I heard, you want to get on maybe a combination of it, but it takes a lot of energy to what I do. So I also was getting fit for a role in a movie. And actually we start filming in October in Atlanta. So I actually have to be I have to be like 215. So it just gives me like, a path to go, and then also eating the protein. So just, for me, it's like, sometimes I don't even realize it, but then I think, oh my gosh, I did two workouts today. I worked 9 hours straight from home. I didn't even lose energy. I didn't have to take a nap or anything like that. I still feel energized. I'm there for my kids. I'm there for my girlfriend. Like, there's so many things. Like, I just feel like I'm more present. She talks about brain fog. So I've actually been sleeping very well. I travel a lot too. So it takes a lot out of you. So just being, my age now, 44, a lot going on. I also started to get it on the collagen, the GHKCU. So that really helped with like clear skin. So I've also noticed some of the scars on my face kind of diminishing from acne back many, many years ago. So a lot of people probably have that. They deal with that. And just also like, there's so many different benefits. Sometimes you don't even know what I maybe can't see is like the heart health, the cardiovascular health, taking the GLP-1, GIP, because I have that in my family, lowering blood pressure. I did get some of that done recently, and it was very good. So when I saw the doctor like a month ago, some of the basic stuff looked pretty good because I had high blood pressure. And then I also got on the glutathione. I've been on that for about 2 months. And I don't know, I just think like I look younger. I just feel like when I look in the mirror, I don't look like a 44-year-old. I look maybe in my 30s. I feel like I'm in my 30s. And just kind of maintaining the weight loss, as far as, staying at a lean weight, and then just knowing it's always there. I will say though, when I'm out of my peptides or when I'm soon to be out, I kind of freak out. So I'm like, oh gosh, like, okay, but the good news is I get the emails from Ellie, and it's like, I don't know how they know it, but like right before these things go kind of away, there's an email like a week before, and it's just right on schedule. I'm like, okay, perfect. I can re-up and, get another prescription. So I just love the system. I love how it comes in, like the packaging, and it's so, like branded with Ellie, and there's a journal and everything when you're doing the GLP, GIP, like the full GLP-1s, semaglutide, trizepatide. So I've just been impressed since day one. I happen to also build the business too on the side. So that's been an incredible blessing as well to have we've helped thousands of other, people kind of have that same success.
Yeah, absolutely love it. So, if you could pinpoint one peptide, like which one would you say created the most noticeable shift for you in like how you feel day to day?
Yeah, so it's definitely the GLP, GIP, being the B12. And a lot of times, like, because I had to lose that extra 20 pounds and keep it off. On a on a narcissistic note, it's nice to see, I used to kind of be shy to take my shirt off at the pool, but now I'm not. So it's just more of like, it's nice to, look in the mirror sometimes, like, oh, I got a six pack. Like, I didn't have to work so hard for the abs like I used to before I got on GLP-1. I was doing abs like 30 minutes a day, every single day. So I don't have to do that as much anymore because I'm just seeing that. Also, just not being as hungry. I know the previous person just talked about going to the pantry at night. I love cereal. I think a lot of us love those late night snacks. So sometimes I don't even think about it. So I've noticed that as well. Like those cravings are gone, but I am hungry. But it's more for the protein and really healthy food. But I'm not eating as much as I used to because I used to definitely eat like 5, 6 meals all the time, and definitely a lot less than that.
Mm. And you've tried the NAD plus, haven't you? You've tried both the injection and the nasal spray. Is that correct? How did that work for you?
Oh yeah, the nasal spray was really good. I have to re-up on that. That I use that right before working out. So like sometimes when I do my 2-a-days, like I'll do cardio in the morning and then I'll go to the gym at night. And I do a lot of that for mental health. It's not just to look good. It's actually just for my mental health. And I do it Monday through Thursday. But I just do it like whatever the prescription was in the nose right before the workout. So I always felt like, even like my bench press is a lot more. I feel like I can lift the kind of weights that I was lifting when I played college football for Liberty University as a tight end back 20 something years ago. So I'm still lifting, the 225, 10 times bench press. So I feel really young. I mean, even my son who's 16, 17, he's like a bodybuilder. He's like impressed with his dad. So stuff like that really helps when you have that extra umph of energy and you really get those workouts in as opposed to, oh, I'm too tired or, oh, it's too late. I'll just do it tomorrow kind of thing.
Yeah. So somebody's asked, what does the glutathione do for you? So from your experience, what has it done for you?
I just feel like for me, it's really good sleep. It's really inflammation is going away. So like I've saw inflammation in my face and inflammation in my stomach before I took it. So I've seen that go away. Like I said, when I'm really on my diet though, because one of the most important things people have to understand, because I've been a personal trainer before, I've been health conscious for years, you got to keep up with the protein. So I'm 220 pounds. I need to be doing 220 grams of protein every day. So it's not like a magic peptide where, oh my gosh, you're going to get abs in 3 days. It's something that I have to track my protein, but this just gives me that extra oomph. I've seen better skin, less wrinkles, stuff like that has kind of slightly gone away. I also do it with the copper peptide as well. So a lot of like the anti-aging properties, the longevity, and the anti-aging, I just feel younger. I feel like I'm 25.
Yeah, there's lots of people who say they love their NAD, but there is a really good question here. So after you lose the 20 pounds,
Yes.
will you stay on and maybe microdose or adapt, or will you look at the other peptides? What will be your plan moving forward once you've lost that
Yeah, so
weight?
that's a great question. So I've been on the trizepatide twice. I'm still on it right now. I'm actually in month 2, but I was on it last year, and then I went to some of the other peptides. But as soon as I'm finished, I'm definitely, I can't wait actually to go on the ipamorelin and the tesamorelin. So I know that Ellie just came out with it like what, a week or two ago. Like I have just done studies on it. I've listened to a lot of the doctors on these educational calls on Thursday. Like I cannot wait to almost try that. But I'm not going to do it while I'm on the trizepatide because I've heard it's not the best because if you're on both at the same time. So as soon as I get off the trizepatide, I'm going to get back on. I'm going to get on that for the first time for that 2 months because that's really cutting the body fat and the visceral fat. And the visceral fat you can't see. So I'm sure that's going to help me a lot and just also kind of build more muscle and maintain, that weight.
Yeah. It's such an incredible thing, isn't it? Just hearing everybody's stories. I mean, you talk with people every day, the same as all of us do, who are going through those personal pain points. Everybody's got their story. So if you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting their health transformation, what would it be?
Well, congratulations. I've done a lot of research. I've been in LA since late last year. They have the best compounding pharmacies. I mean, you're getting the best for actually the best price. I mean, our price, I don't think you talk about it enough, but a lot of people I know are getting their GLP-1s for like 1,200 a month and they got to pay for all their doctor visits and everything. So compounding pharmacies, FDA approved, that's all great. But like, I would definitely not just take a peptide and still have maybe the lifestyle that got you into the weight gain. I would definitely understand like getting on these calls every Thursday as a customer has been a godsend. I mean, I love like understanding you have to have more fiber and you just have to make sure you maintain that protein. And there's so many ways like getting the protein support with Ellie because we all live busy lives. So having 1 or 2 protein shakes a day, there's, 50, 60, 70 grams of protein right there. Then you have a great, dinner, lots of protein, some vegetables, and then a good breakfast, and you're good. I mean, most people are not 220 pounds like I am. They're a lot less than that. So, I probably need more. That's my best advice is you can literally see the best results in the next 90 days, but give it 90 days. You can't expect major things happening the first couple of weeks, although you will see some things, you'll feel some things. But I say give it 90 days. Go on that 90-day run in your health because you'll never regret that. And neither will your kids or your grandkids, and you'll just feel better, look better, and health as well. There's nothing more important than our health.
Yeah, that is completely true. Well, thank you, Todd, for sharing your story. There are a few questions coming in the chat. If you're able just to go in and if you're comfortable answering any of those, that would be great. Now, we did have our third guest, Vanessa, but unfortunately, Vanessa hasn't been able to make it. So we just had the 2 guests today, and I'm sure you can see that what this is actually doing for people is actually huge. Whether you're just looking to lose that inflammation, whether you're looking to get rid of the brain fog, no matter what journey or what stage you are in your path. Okay, we kind of have something for all of you. So reach out to the person that invited you to this call, have a chat with them. And that does conclude our Thursday educational series this week. But we will be back next week. So thank you all for attending, and hopefully we'll be able to get Vanessa on another day because she has an amazing story to tell you guys as well about her peptides journey. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.